Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of locals. As I said, having a lot of fun in set 12. This time we got Robin. I'll go over deck profile at the end, but it's very similar, or I think the same list probably, as the Rush Robin aggro video I posted a little bit ago. Pretty fun time, pretty successful, I would say. Some thoughts on it and changing stuff at the end as well. But if you like the playmat I'm using in the video, you can use my code StrawHatPecan on Ned Garden. It's the King of Hearts playmat, very nice quality. I've also got a TCG player affiliate link in the description as well, that if you're going to be buying any cards, clicking the link just helps me. Also, just to go over it real quick, I think my sleeves are by Davidson TCG, not sponsored or have any code for you, sorry, but and then I don't know if I used any of the proxy leaders that I've had before for Robin, but they're by Davidson TCG and Kaizuku cards, both pretty nice stuff. Again, not endorsed or sponsored in any way with them, but that's just where I get my stuff from. I know a lot of people always ask. So yeah, that covers all of it. Make sure to be nice to my opponents, as they're doing me a favor by allowing me to record these videos in person, and be nice to yourselves, you know? Locals are supposed to be fun, and I had some fun. So let's get into it. And yeah, like I said, deck profile at the end. Alrighty, shout out to first round against Green Zoro. I think won dice roll and got to go first, but the dreaded one cost red set self searcher comes out. RIP. So we're gonna have to devote a swing to that. Going over some things real quick before we get into it. Game plan strategy against Zoro. Obviously, Hidden Face is really good. They don't often run a lot of 2Ks. We'll let it play out, but I specifically for this list, I know I run Kikunojo, which is a great card to trigger out and also play out, but I don't want to play it out with him being above 3 life, because then it's just free to him to swing into it, right? So that is something we just pitch. Because knowing that, I might just play out the Hawkins on a future turn, right? Because he won't want to swing out to the Hawkins for the most part. He goes 5 at us, and we give him a 1K with that Sanji Rush. Plays out that blocker. We go 5, and then no longer pitch, as I want to keep some cards in hand. And we go and trash that, the top life. And we got a restand event, I believe, with that, so that's pretty cool. He gets a Cavendish, so Robin will live to see another day. Specifically, one more day, right? One more turn. But yeah, in this matchup, just looking for things that are annoying for Zoro to either swing into, or rush cards that will help us pressure his life again. As he doesn't run a lot of 2Ks in the deck, or, well, Zoros typically don't, for the most part. We go 6 at life. And here we're probably just going to play out the Kuma to have a body to swing with. The fact that Kuma is a 7K power is like kind of crazy too. I could have honestly seen the Secret Rare being like a 6 cost 6K power. I think that would have been like a fine stat line to make it a little bit, but like, I don't know. Even with the Kuma, like, yellow decks are annoying, but they're not like the top meta, as we've seen with some recent tournaments, right? So he took the life expecting a 6 cost Robin to come in, but instead it was the Kuma, which, you know, if he was the 6 cost Robin, it wouldn't have done anything if he's now down to 2 life. So now he plays out that Zoro that I think can't die to slash, and it's like a 6K power or so. But down to 2 life, 1 blocker. He goes 7 at life, and we take another Kuma. Pretty nice, right? Being able to heal another turn. And just goes 9 at us, and we trigger the Olvia. Draw 3, trash 2. Probably gonna give, yep, a Gum and another Sanji, since we have another Sanji. So he leaves the Dawn open, so we know he's got the plus 3000 event. But that's because I go 7, knowing he can get out of that. And then we go 8 at life, because I want 7 Dawn remaining, because I want to play Kuma and then have 1 for Gum, right? Just in case he does have more restand events. And goes absolutely crazy sicko mode on our life. But now we have 2 Kuma. He's down to 2 life. We got that event out of hand, so a little bit of less counter. You know, he's got the Tashigi on board, right? So expecting some maybe control. He has the 9 cost Zoro, which is definitely a tech option for like Anel and I think Bonnie for the most part. But he plays it out here. He was like, yeah, I just didn't really have any other play at all. And I guess he's just hoping that the blocker kind of saves him. However, we do have the Sanji in hand, which will coming real clutch. He goes another 6. I'm just hoping to get another trigger body here. But we get the 0 cost event, which is like, does not matter at all. Because like, I'm definitely just dead if I don't win this turn. But so he has 3 in hand, 1 blocker. So we're just going to go 7 for Sanji. Rest the blocker and he gains rush. And then we have Olvia to buff up by 3k. So that's a really good swing. RIP the camera bit. But now we have an 8k leader, 2 7k, 3 7ks, right? So we go 8 banish at life. And you go another few 7s. And we do get it with the 9. So just unfortunate, right? Like Zoro is a deck that needs to find it. Like when it finds its pieces, it can just like pop off and feel real aggressive. And I was watching a lot of the matchups against like Rayleigh over the weekend with some of the regionals. There can be some very, very good turns for Zoro, obviously, right? Unfortunately, he just didn't find the Tashigi, so he didn't have anything to rest my Robin that one turn. And actually getting a 6k swing for another turn, like getting a 2k out of hand or just a swing going through, right, is pretty big in a matchup that doesn't run a ton of counter, right? When he had the Dawn open, I knew that swinging 7k, he gets out of that with that one Dawn event, but that's why I wanted to leave it up to swing 8. He also didn't have the Mihawk blocker instead, which if he had that blocker, then possibly our swings, right, gets out of 1 with that, even if we rest the 1 blocker. So definitely could have been a lot worse for us. Obviously not saying that Robin is like a really great deck against Zoro. He just unfortunately didn't find pieces when he needed them. But things like the Kuma are really good. And then there's just the fact that Robin has a lot of trash life options that can hurt depending on what it hits from life, right? But that's why I kind of like the more aggressive build, even though we just went back-to-back Kuma. But just being able to play some annoying mid-range bodies and then finish off with some rush aggro towards the end can be pretty good overall. But GG to round 1. All right, but shout out to round 2 against BY Nami. We are going first. So we just do 1 Dawn pass. And we pitch 0 cost to ramp and hit that first life banish pretty good. It goes 9 and we get a Kikinojo, really nice. Seeing that, 1 is in hand already, it's pretty good. No 6 cost Robin though, right? Yeah, so unfortunate. Do go 6 at life just to see if we want to give the leader ability. He does, so that's fine. That's where we're gonna go 7 banish, right? And got a 2k for that, so that's pretty good. We play out our other Kikinojo. So he plays out the Nojiko, right? And then that bounces the Kikinojo. We play Hawkins out of life. And oh, so I'm sorry. The list is I was missing a card. I was missing a Secret Luffy. Forgot to mention that. So I proxied in a blank card. That's the 9 cost, 10k power Secret Luffy. And I pretty much made sure to explain that before every matchup to my opponent and made sure they were okay with that. But it's just locals. I don't know. If that's a big problem to you, then I don't know what to tell you. I do have 2 other copies in the deck, but it was really funny that, like, for some reason I kept drawing into the backwards copy, right? Like why is this the one that I'm getting in my hand, the blank card? But yeah, I was running 3 copies of that secret rare, 3 copies of the ace heal, We go 5. He goes plus 2k. We go 7 at life. And he triggers out his Kikinojo. And then we go here, the Secret Luffy. So here I am going over again, like, yeah, this is the Luffy. So put a Dawn back, draw a card, and go 10 at life. And then we pass. So yeah, RIP. It was really frustrating because the card came in the mail like the next day. It had been like a couple of weeks since I ordered it off TCG Player, I think. So it was unfortunate. He goes 7 at our life. We go 2-1. We go 8 of life and trigger out another Kikunojo, which is little actually insane. Little actually insane. Draw. Here I am like debating, like maybe we could go for game. We go 5, get another card out of hand. We go 6 at Kikunojo, get her out, he heals. But I'm feeling like if I can control the board, go up to 2 life here, I'll be alright. And we go ace, heal, and go 10 life again. And we have 2 10k bodies. He red rocked, I think, the Okiku earlier to get rid of one of them, which definitely fair. You know, that's a lot of aggression early on, getting that first life being Okiku. He trashes a Gum Gum Giant with 8 cost kid. And then goes 7 of life. And he has no Dawn left, so no events, and got another Kikunojo, which is a little crazy. And he goes 7 again, and we go 2-1. So yeah, that was 3 Kikunojo, which is actually crazy. Compared to the one time on the sim where I had all 4 life as Kikunojo and Yamato, that, you know, still utterly insane. We go 7 in life first. He goes leader ability and goes 2. So we trash Okiku to play, yep, just to be pretty Dawn efficient, right? So we go 9 banish here. And goes 2 and 1. And he has 3 in hand, so we go another 9. Just in case it's like a Beji or something like that. Or something, I don't know. We go 10 of life again. And then another 10. And end up getting it very lucky aggro. Like getting 3 Okiku is actually insane, right? Typically, you know, BY could be a pretty tough matchup just because she becomes that 7k leader with just trashing 1 card, right? So that could be a little bit problematic if you are trying to play like a big body every turn that's like 9 or 10 Dawn. It's a little annoying to swing into those types of leaders, right? But just the fact that we got a few Kikus out of life is actually insane. GG to round 2. Shout out to round 3 against a mirror matchup. Really cool to see. I know he's a little bit newer on Robin, or like was missing a few cards. I think a lot of people are still missing Kuma, very expensive secret rare, because it's very used if you want to play yellow, right? But looking at the starting hand, we have a lot of big bodies, right? That ace and then the 9 cost secret rare. Again, I don't know. It's like there's 2 other copies of it in the deck, so the odds that we keep drawing into the one that's the blank card is like bothering me. But against Robin mirror match, it really comes down to just who has the better top end starting hand and like drawing into it, right? Because you're not going to get anything from life, obviously, and then if you just chain 6 cost Robin into like 8 cost kid, that can be really bad for your opponent because they're just losing out on so many resources. It's knowing like when to swing with the big bodies that you do play out or any non-bans you play out. But just want to go over like the starting hand and stuff like that. Obviously there's not like a ton of Robin mirror matches out and about, but you know, that's just back from like playing in set 9. It's kind of what I noticed. We draw into a 2k. So we go here and we pitch a Beji, which really sucks having to pitch the Beji. So again, hopefully we just draw into some knife stuff. And I think he lost the Saul. So then we just end up passing. Or no, the Kikunojo. So we lost the Kikunojo, which... And any other matchup, having that be first life would be pretty good. But again, Robin mirror matchups a little aggressive in that way, right? You're kind of just relying on what you're drawn into for the most part. So we lost our Kuma, which sucks. And plays out a Saul. In this list, I did opt to take out the Saul, I will say. Specifically for against Zoro. We just go 11 and he loses the purple Saul. Because Zoro can just obviously rest it, and a lot of stuff can just get rid of a 3-cost blocker with how much like rest or just removal there is in the game. But I don't know. I think a lot of people are, of course, on Zoro, but we lose 0 cost event. There are definitely ways that, like, you could probably still keep in the soul blocker, but my thought process was I replaced that with the Kikunojo and replacing a brick that comes out of free for life for the most part, with another one that does the same thing, but this actually has a pretty good use case against Zoro. Like I said, if they rest Saul, swing into him for free, or if I block with Saul, it just triggers his lead ability too. He uses Gum Gum to get out of here, which honestly is fair because then you get to draw and cycle, which again, against a leader that, you know, is banished, you might need to just draw into what you need, right? Here we just have even more top end, another Dofi, the Rush Luffy and the Rush Ace. So he goes 9 banish. We lose another Kuma, so that's unfortunate, losing 2 of them into our trash. But at least we have a heal, right? So getting back up to 2 life here. The fact that he didn't have a big body himself to play out is really good for us, right? Like just having more top end. He plays out another Saw. We draw, get a 0 cost. We go 5 of life, and he blocks out with Saw, so maybe indicating he doesn't have a lot of counter. So in that way, we might have been able to play out Luffy just to draw a card, but I wanted to feel a little safer and go up to 2 life. If he didn't block out with the Saul and they're both still on the board, having those 2 as possible swings, I definitely would have healed with Ace. And then also the fact that he didn't get a body out of life, which is really good for us, like a Kiku or something like that. But we have a lot of 2Ks, 0 cost event. He goes 6 at life, banish, so we go 2K. He goes Sanji, and has 2 down left. And then he goes 7 life, and we get a Kiku, which is actually really unfortunate. We've just been really lucky with the Kiku. So he has 2 Dawn open. We go 5 at life banish. Here I am just playing it a little safe, to be honest. I definitely could have mathed it out, I think, with the bodies. Like, of course, we have Olvia, so we really could have just probably mathed it out, but if you can play safer and kind of guarantee, I think, you know, that's sometimes the better option. He goes 2 in hand now. So we go 10 at Sanji. So we go Luffy, put it on back, draw a card. And then we do have a lot of counter, but if he gets an Okiku out of life and then another rush card, we could be in a little bit of trouble, especially if he has Olvia. But again, now we've kind of just set up the board like we have too many big bodies to respond to. And we're both at 1 life, pretty low in hand size. Which, like I said, Robin mirror match kind of just comes down to who has the bigger top end for the most part. Or like more top end. And if you're able to heal, right? Like with the Ace or like a Yamato or something like that. But neither of us found our 6 cost Robins or like 8 cost kids. So we ended up not even really losing like too much life. But like matchups like this could go really quickly. Again, like I said, if you're going first and then hit 6 cost Robin on curve and then 8 cost kid. But here he is. Playing out the Sanji. And luckily, I mean, we just have the counter to get out of it. But he goes 7 at life. Non-banished, so we just take. And he goes 5. And we counter out. So he has 2 down open. 2 in hand. So we go Olvia to buff. And then I think we go 11 banish just to try and get something out. And then just 10 of life and end up winning it. GG. Shout out to my man. It was 2-0 on Robin. So love to see that, you know. But shout out to our last round. 3-0 right now against Red Ace. And we did lose dice roll, unfortunately, so we're going second. Pretty rough for us, right? But we have an 8-cost Kid, a Baby 5, Hawkins, and a Kuma. Gum Gum Giant starting hand. Not bad. He picks up Rush Ace off of that. And we just go pass on 2 Don, which sucks, but we do get a 2K. And 5 at our face. I think he's probably going to play out, or not play out, probably just swing another 5 with the Ezo. So we draw 2, trash 2. I think I do get a little greedy here. I think we have like not a ton of bricks in hand, but I really wanted to keep the 6-cost Robin and the 8-cost Kid, trying to rush him down, but like I give away two 1Ks and obviously the Olvia 2K and keep a brick, and then yeah. So now I have to defend this 5K swing, which I knew was coming, right? And we go, I think we 2K out of that too. Just very greedy because I'm trying to keep, or yeah. And now here I am, I think ignoring the Searcher, but I think he's probably gonna play out that 5-cost. So we just go 9 at life, banish. He loses a card, and we don't pitch anything to ramp because 1, I want to keep my cards in my hand, and 2, I'm on an even curve anyway. So the only benefit is just being able to swing a little bit higher, which probably will be nice. And then he plays out the Rush Ace, right? The 5-cost Rush Ace. We get the 9-cost Secret Lair Luffy again, right? Like, why I'm seeing the one that I have proxied, which is kind of crazy. We go 5 of life, and he counters out of that. We go Kuma. Going over Kuma, because I don't think he opened up any of the new set at this point, but also really funny seeing like these 2 off-meta leaders at the undefeated table, right? Just a little silly, and like I always say, like pretty much anything can win locals, right? Especially in a new meta, in a new format. So it goes 5 and we go 1, 6 and we take another Kuma, which I'm like feeling like okay, like it's just like a lot of rush here. And I don't trigger out the Baby 5 because I need counter, right? We're up to 8 Don. We go 7 at the ace, he gets a 2K. And we go 7 again at the ace, he gives us another 2. And then I heal again, pitch our brick 8-cost Dofi, and we have a 2 and 1 in hand. I probably should have kept up 1 for Giant, I'm gonna be honest. Knowing how much I am in danger, right? Having only 2 and 1. I think I can survive this turn, so that's why I wanted to keep up my current to get ace out on the board, right? I'm like hoping that I'm whittling enough cards out of his hand, even though he can pitch events for 1K counter. I'm hoping that his hand size is pretty light, that these 7Ks can get rid of the 5-cost ace. But I am also worried because if he Flame Emperors me, right, just to get the double attack, right, like that could be really bad for us. That could be really bad for us. Right here you'll see ends up playing out, or 5 at us, we go 1K. 6, we go 2K. I am wondering, like, I wish that I could have probably pressured his life down a little bit more. We might have been able to go for game this following turn if some of these swings went at his face, right? Because he's not trying to clear our board, obviously, because Akuma is very annoying. And then he goes another 7K at our life, and we take, and just another brick. So at this point, we have just so many bricks. We're at 10. We go 5 of life, banish. He takes, who's very unfortunate for us. We go 7 at the 5-cost ace. He goes guard point. We go 7 again. And we go heal and go 10 at the ace and got it. Unfortunate. If everything was a clear board and like he had no rush cards, obviously we've been in a really good spot. But we have nothing in hand for counter besides a 1K Sanji, which is just, it's like unfortunate to draw this many bricks, but it also is just a deck building issue, right? He has all 10 Dawn, and we draw 2 with that, and it does not help us, right? We get 2 more pricks. If we had Akuma again, right, we've been all right because we had Gum Gum. But yeah, we just dead. We just dead. We have 8 cards in hand, 7 of which are bricks. Very unfortunate, but again, that's the deck building issue on my part. I was a little greedy with how many bricks I had, thinking that there's a lot of, we'll go over the deck list, right? But definitely an issue with the deck list for sure. I have a few adjustments that I like, not set in stone on for the overarching theme of the deck, but definitely some things I would like to change. I don't know. And then, of course, gameplay strategy. Instead of this 10 cost ace turn, if he was at like 2 life, and then we play out like 8 cost kid to get him down to 1, and have like 2 7k swings, another 7k banish, maybe we could gotten there, but who knows, right? Because maybe he would have defended some of those 7ks at life 2, so his hand size would have been equally as lower, but maybe he would have been down like 1 life card as well, right? I don't think we were in the position for a while to be able to control board, which is what I was trying to do, especially since we start off going second, which is rough for us if we are an aggro list and we don't get to take first. It really hurts for sure. Especially just being hit with rush every single turn, right? But yeah, definitely things I could have probably done to pivot. I didn't, of course, know I was going to draw into so many bricks, but with the Olvia trigger out of first life, I probably should have pitched more non-counter than counter, right? Knowing my hand and what I wanted to play out. I was just a little greedy with trying to keep some of the life trashing cards, especially when I started just going for board, right? So if I'm going to keep the life trashing cards in hand, I should probably use them and actually just try to rush him down. It's a little intimidating though, like being like against like the 5 life leader and having him have things like Flame Emperor that can get the double attack in and a lot of rush cards. So, you know, definitely things to consider, like what your opponent's going to do or not. Like, obviously he wasn't prioritizing clearing my board because it's got Kuma as the only target, so you don't want to swing into Kuma and just heal me, right? Is what it is. Definitely things to made me think about for the deck list, but let's go over that now. And shout out to round 4, winning on red ace, really cool. Very excited for me personally, playing the new blue red ace. I think that'll be a pretty fun deck to check out in set 13. But yeah, congrats to my man winning on red ace, going 3-1 on Robin, getting second. Feels pretty good too, but it's like a curse. I've won locals on Robin before, but not when recording. It's very like I always go like 3-1 or like 2-2, but like for the most part I like just 3-1 on Robin. So I was hoping to break the streak because I feel like the deck list is pretty strong right now, but definitely some things to consider and change, I think. But here is the deck list I'm using in the video. Again, a lot of bricks. However, like I discussed a lot of times, we have a lot of cycle cards, and properly, if we can go first or even just get out 8 cost kid on curve, just being able to cycle out with that is very nice. And we have things like Gum Gum and our 0 cost that also cycle us out of our hand a lot. And Baby 5 just from life, just straight to 2. Olvia, very much able to fix our hand a lot of times, but it's, you know, obviously like what happened in game 4, just didn't prioritize the right game plan strategy with what I was getting in my hand, right? So in the odds of getting less, I would probably just start off by cutting a Doflamingo down and adding like a Hawkins, another Hawkins. Very nice against Zoro, pumping that up to 4 copies. And then putting in just, if wanted one more 1k counters. I was thinking about like S Snake, honestly. This one here that just prevents a 6 or less from attacking other than Luffy. Because this can be used against like Rayleigh specifically to not hit the Luffy, obviously the 4 cost Luffy, but whatever is played off of the Luffy can help you a lot. And it's also got counter and a trigger, so it's another option to pitch, so we're not having to pitch like 2Ks or our 0 cost, right? Just as a 2 of, like, I don't hate losing that. Dofi though does hurt against like Blackbeard, obviously, because Dofi is our only rush option that isn't an on-play gain rush type of deal. So that way we can still rush an attack into Blackbeard, right? But I don't think I'm teching specifically for Blackbeard right now. If I was going to bring Robin to like a big tournament, maybe. I don't know. I would expect to see like a few. But overall, I think I feel more confident if I just cut down the Dofi copies and either just cut it completely and add in this. Because against Zoro, totally, utterly fine with just, if you see a few Kuma and Kikunojo, right? And then your big bodies, right? I don't know if we need to go overkill on teching everything against Zoro. And even then, having in less, right? Like, Esne could help a lot because then Cavendish or Tashigi can't attack the next turn either if you're playing this out against them. Or just having another 1k counter that activate this card's main ability through trigger is pretty good too. Preventing a 6 cost or less from attacking. Really nice, especially if your opponent's going for game. But yeah, that's the deck list. Overall, I do think Robin is pretty strong for like an off-meta rogue pick, right? Like I said, I think we could have had a better chance. I think we can still win locals for sure. I think if we like really put a little bit more thought into the deck list, it could do well in like maybe like a store event. I don't know, but overall, I'm not hating the deck in set 12. It's pretty fun to play. I like the aggro version a lot. I don't know how the control version is doing versus it. However, I will say that this deck probably does have a weakness against green, specifically if they're using 8-cost Kid, right? Our best hope would be with that is to just drain resources out of their hand with Banish and Trashing Life so that they don't have cards to defend the 8-cost Kid, right? That's pretty much our hope. And then we have like some big bodies so that just to swing into it. If I was going to what is it? Gamma? Oh, I don't even have purple loaded up, which is unfortunate. But if I was going to it, maybe Gamma Knife would be like a 1 of or a 2 of, because it's could be pretty good against getting through like an 8-cost Kid if you had it as like a 2 of. Maybe if I was going to a big tournament, this would be my replacement for Dofi, just as a way to clear board, right? And then also as a trigger, so it works well with the deck. You know, is another brick. So if we're worried about the bricks, that is like an unfortunate bit, but like this would be the way that we would be able to tech against green. And I think with how prevalent it is right now, especially with like Bonnie, obviously green Zoro is not really running 8-cost Kid, but Bonnie specifically, definitely a good option, right? It is searchable with Heart Pirates. I'm not running any list that does that, but you know, that is something to consider. I know green purple ran this, I think, or black purple too, maybe. I think a lot of purple decks were just running this before when green was relying only on 8-cost Kid. Now they have Mihawk too, but I don't know, it wouldn't hurt as like a 1 of, maybe as like a tech option if you're going for like to a regional, which again, I probably wouldn't bring this to a regional if I were you, right? Definitely an off-meta rogue deck, but one that I'm having a lot of fun with. So overall, pretty happy with locals getting second, going 3-1 with Robin. Hopefully we can win one with her, but also I'm just liking a lot of the different leaders in set 12, so I'll probably be bringing different stuff to locals for the most part for the first few weeks, right? But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and hope to see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.